Surprised. So Johnny English Strikes Again is the third installment of the Johnny English Now trilogy, which continues the story of Johnny English, played by Rowan Atkinson, who after a cyber attack reveals the identity of all the active undercover agents in Britain. Johnny English is forced to come out of retirement to find this mastermind hacker. Now, full transparency, I've never seen any of the Johnny English movies before. They were just never something that I ever came into contact with. I knew what they were, obviously. I know Rowan Atkinson, he's a kind of a British acting legend, but I've never really seen much of his work. I've seen Mr. Bean before, which is very amusing, and I've also seen Blackadder, which I really like. But besides those, I've never actually seen Johnny English. It was never something that came onto my radar. It was never something I ever came across growing up. So this was actually my first exposure to Johnny English, and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to take to it. Now, Rowan Atkinson is fantastic in this movie, as he is in everything. I mean, like I said, the guy is a legend. He's really amusing. He just has this really great presence about him. He really brings this level of physical acting to him. You know, his facial expressions, his body language, the way he moves. It's very animated, but very well portrayed in, a live action kind of sense. And it's really well put together in that sense. And I love Rowan Atkinson in this film. I think he was really funny. He really did make me laugh. He made me chuckle many, many times. And I thought he was very amusing and very good in the role of Johnny English. Like I said, I've never seen a Johnny English movie before, so to see him in this role for the first time was really entertaining, and I thought he played it very well, and I assume, same goes for the other two movies in the trilogy. Also, Ben Miller, who is the partner of Johnny English in this film, Boff. I'm not quite sure if he's in the other movies, I assume he is. But he was very funny in this as well. A very good play-off of Johnny English, very funny together with Rowan Atkinson. They had a very good dynamic, very good bond, and you could really have the banter between the two flicking back and forth. I think it was very, very amusing, and he just added more to the comedy. And also Emma Thompson's fantastic in this. I mean, Emma Thompson is, again, kind of a British actress legend, but she is playing clearly a rip-off of the current British Prime Minister Theresa May, and it's very, very funny, very amusing, especially if you are following the news recently with Theresa May and what she's been getting up to recently. You can see that she is definitely playing up to that expectation, and I found it very amusing myself. So obviously this is a family comedy, and did this make me laugh? Yes, it did. I think this movie was very amusing. I went into this movie expecting it to be very silly, very almost childish humour that I wasn't going to enjoy and maybe find a bit cringy. And there were a couple of moments like that, and there are a lot of moments that perhaps are a bit below the brow, but I think there are some really funny and, genuinely amusing moments too. I think there were a lot of really standout comedic moments that I just didn't really expect and didn't see coming, so I have to give full credit to the movie there, as it really did take me by surprise, and I've never seen a movie make a comedic scene out of Darude Sandstorm before, so, if you're looking for that, this movie has that for you in store. Now, I do have a couple of complaints about this. For one, the story. I mean, it's obviously a story we've seen a million times before, but because this movie is kind of a cliche and is, kind of playing off, it's a comedic spoof of James Bond in a way, I'm not going to give it too much slack on the story because I'm pretty sure a James Bond movie has done this plot before, so I can't quite remember which one, but I'm pretty sure one of them has done it before, maybe even a couple of them have done it before, so with that, I can't really give it too much credit for, it's not really an original story, but again, it is kind of a spoof thing, so I can't really take too much away from it in that regard. And also Jake Lacy, who played the villain of this movie, I found very annoying. He really did it over the top, like really overacted it, and I thought it was really annoying. It came across as really cringeworthy a lot of the times, and it's a shame because I've seen Jake Lacy in the film Miss Sloane, and I thought he was excellent in that movie. And, I love that movie, and I think he was excellent in it. So, when I saw on IMDb he was the villain, I was like, okay, that's interesting. And in this, he just kind of plays this over-exuberant tech genius, tech billionaire from the US, and yeah, he just came across as really cringy to me personally. But overall, Johnny English Strikes Again was a really pleasant experience at the cinema. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it really surprised me. I didn't think I was going to enjoy this movie. I've never seen a Johnny English movie before, but I really appreciated all the spy genre cliches. I really enjoyed Rowan Atkinson's performance. I really liked Ben Miller as Boff as well. And Emma Thompson playing Theresa May basically was a very funny thing to see on screen. And overall, despite the weak villain and, cliched story, I think this is a very good time at the cinema. If you're just looking for something really light, this is a really good choice, and I think this is a perfect family comedy. So did you guys see Johnny English Strikes Again? If you did, make sure you tell me all your thoughts about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let's have a conversation about this movie in the comment section down below. And as always guys, if you want to see more movie reviews from me, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys again in my next video.